All comes down to this. Andy Blurton on the big break. 20 minutes on the match clock. Race to 4. Either of these teams gets there, they are in the final 4 of the Pairs Cup. A reminder, the draw works for Tom and Shane. If this match finishes level, they are straight through to the last 4. Great break from Andy, his best of the night, and it's given them a very, very presentable opening opportunity, particularly on these yellow balls.
It's a dream split. It really is. There's very little work to do here. I even think the yellow nearest the left centre passes the red. And that nearly went horribly wrong. Make the case that's actually made things hard. I very rarely kind of disagree with Neil's choices of shot, but I just thought he would play position on that yellow. There was loads of room. The best way to get on that yellow was to finish low, and if you finish low, there was loads of room just to float back out into the middle of the table where all your balls are. I'm really surprised with how he played it, but it's come out really, really well, so you can't really argue against it.
If only they could tag in and let Andy play this next shot.
yeah, easier shot for Andy than Neil.
So much so that Neil's had a look around the table to see if he can try and go up the table. He can't, not really.
What's difficult, awkward for Neil is it's not as though he can just play an easy shot. He has to actually really work the cue ball here.
Have to do it with the rest. Often we see this sort of apparatus on the small table. It was necessary there for Neil. It genuinely would have made such a difference for Andy to be able to play that shot, because he would have been fine with it.
Yeah, he could have reached that easily. Well played though from Neil. They're maybe not ball in hand where they wanted to be, but he's got options here. You can actually pot all 4 balls from where he is. It's just now pick your route. Pretty confident the 8 ball passes the red to bottom left as well. That was the only other thing with the first shot that Neil played, is did he just half block off that 8 ball?
I think you could see there the 8 ball clearly passes.
Yeah, maybe not the full pocket, but enough. That was a nice shot from Andy, that previous one. Screw all the way down the table to a position where they're now playing stop shots. It would have just left them a little bit off angle if they hadn't have played it that way around. And good thinking to come all the way down, and obviously coming all the way down, landing perfect. It was a nice shot.
We saw Scott Yardley and Matt Cooke trip up on a similar 8 ball to this earlier on in the night. Similar-ish, but that shot gets 10 times harder if they're playing that into a blind pocket from further up the table. As it is there, it's unmissable.
Yeah, that completely correct. That was one of the big differences. That was a big moment on the night, wasn't it?
I mentioned after the first couple of rounds of matches, you could absolutely make the point that Scott Yardley and Matt Cooke had made fewer errors than Andy Blurton and Neil Raybone, and yet they found themselves out of the competition.
It was a big error though, wasn't it? Sometimes
yes.
It's the size of the error, not the number.
Yeah, true. Oh, he's done it again. Or has he? It's the golden duck. Oh, wow then. Wow, says Shane Thompson. Tom Cousins remains pretty impassive. He makes the 8 ball, and he knows the cue ball's tracking too. He's had a golden break. He's now had a golden duck. And all of a sudden, the Dream Team find themselves 2-0 down.
That was tough. That was a very, very tough in off the break. That took a series. I mean, that was perfect. That cue ball right into the middle of the pack area. a lot of kisses gets that towards the left centre, and what makes it so much worse is the 8 balls are already gone in.
After the cue ball kissed it in.
Yes.
Incredible. 15 minutes left to change it. And this is where the having of the draw is so big, because they only need to win 2 frames. But, and it's a pretty big but, Andy Blurton mentioned he hit the first frame of the night, he hit his best break. This one is even better. It's perfect.
How hampered's the first shot on the yellows? If it's not bad, then it's a really good layout. And oh, he can get to the centre of the cue ball. This is lovely. Okay, mind your work time here. 3-0 coming up.
Well, Shane Thompson and Tom Cousins are about to be put absolutely bang under it, and they've done really nothing wrong. About to be 3-0 down, and neither of them has played a shot in open table. Tom Cousins has had 1 break, and there's at present been 5.5 minutes played.
Yeah, and if he gets this shot right, there won't be much left in it in this frame.
As a great man once said, how the turntables. This whole evening has just completely swung into the favour of Andy Blurton and Neil Raybone.
Natural here, just drop it in dead weight. Cue ball will be right behind that 8 ball.
The only positive, and it is slim pickings, but the only positive for Shane and Tom is that there is plenty of time left in the match. But that is where the positives end, because Neil and Andy need 1 opportunity to qualify through to the final 4. This has been a dream start. You cannot get better than this.
We don't often talk about the match situation. Normally we're so kind of, because it's 20-minute matches, races to 4, the match clock is such a big factor. Now these two right now don't even think about the match clock. It's just about needing 1 more opportunity tonight. 1 more opportunity and take it. No need to worry about the match clock. No need to run the clock down or anything like that. Just take 1 more opportunity.
Tom Cousins sticking with that cut break. I have no idea how the cue ball stayed on the table there, but the issue he's got is every other ball has as well. And right now, Neil Raybone can send Tom Cousins and Shane Thompson home.
Well, this will be the Scotch frame, won't it? So they've got 1 ball to work out. Is he on the red to bottom left now? Past the yellow? I don't think so. Can you go right centre and towards the red at the bottom? Don't think so either. That's the challenge, is that red at the bottom of the table. It won't be yellows, I don't think, unless they're on the yellow to left centre and the other one passes top left, but I don't think it does.
Could be a big shot, this. Didn't play it.
Yeah, he purposely played into the yellow to hold. Now, easy to get the contact here, but you're not guaranteed to be on a ball and not guaranteed to knock it on, but it's in your favour. Half ball on the yellow would be lovely, because it would knock the red all the way to the right hand side and they'd stay on the other one. Oh, he played it so firm, it threw so wide.
He's missed that by a mile.
The natural angle there was going almost full ball into the yellow. You play it firm and it just throws completely.
This is such a good example of what we say about the power affecting the throw of the light white.
And he didn't even really overhit that. He just gave it too much. He could hit that a lot firmer. But they haven't. The key is don't give away the frame here. The yellow's still a problem at the bottom of the table, and there's 2 bad yellows at the top of the table. So, you know, still completely in control here.
Here it is again. And he's missed the red by a mile.
Yeah. When you look at that, even on replay, you think that there's no way that could be missed.
With that sort of power, that's what throws the white out. Shane just sort of makes a bit of a chess move, really, more than anything else. Moves the arrows around a little bit. Takes a pocket.
Worth pointing out that was Shane's first shot in the match.
Sure that wasn't lost on him. Last turn coming up. Oh, Andy's got that one wrong. Interesting frame now. Because it's hard for Shane and Tom to win it, but they simply must.
Yeah, I was thinking that they could open up the 2 yellows at the top of the table, but it's too risky because the red at the bottom, the left-hand one, does go to the bottom left, and when playing that, you would open up the other one. So any chance that you leave on reds is actually giving a great chance to win the frame. That's actually worked out really well for Andy, even though he was playing the loss of turn and got it wrong. It's worked out well.
I think they have to try and get some kind of supremacy at the top left of the table.
Maybe top right here? Yeah, trying to. Okay, that's made a mess down the bottom of the table. This is good for their chances to win the frame because it's making a mess on the reds as well as the yellows, but now the clock is becoming a factor. I said it's not a factor to these two, they just want one more chance, but they can, for every second that passes, it is in their favour. So they should just keep containing. No need to do anything else but contain here. Make Shane and Tom do something.
Shane Thompson and Tom Cousins need to find a rabbit out of the hat in this frame. It won't be there. Oh, trouble.
That's not the worst outcome, by the way.
The red I'm not sure goes to bottom left.
If it does, then it could be out here, but the 2 reds at the top have gone awkward. It's half opened up the yellows a little bit. They're still miles from being open, by the way, but it's just slightly better and it hasn't given a great opportunity. So they're going to continue to contain here, quite rightly.
That's a time foul.
That was definitely a time foul.
Yeah, no need to check that.
That was a poor one from Andy and Neil. Just don't foul there. Just the containing shot was pretty easy to work out.
A time foul and cue ball in hand is pretty spectacular as well.
Yeah, time foul and cue ball in hand, it doesn't happen very often. And that means that this actually isn't that bad an out. Got to be careful at the bottom of the table, but they can open up the top of the table here with one delicate shot. There is the delicate shot. Now they just need to figure out the bottom of the table. I wonder if the gap is available. Just heard Shane say there's a gap there. If they can find the gap to that yellow one that's on the bottom cushion.
Well, they'll go hunting for it now if there is. I think they've got it.
Yeah. Now it's just, you don't really want to stick on the red. You'd love to just get middle of the table, somewhere up. Yeah, that'll do. That's absolutely fine.
You can see the pace has picked up. They both know they basically have to play on a 15-second shot clock here.
But what a mistake from Andy. This shouldn't be possible. This should not be possible. Oh, mistake from Shane this time.
Well, are they on a ball? Does that yellow slide through? I don't think it does.
Oh, that's a big error from Shane. You've got acres to play in.
Might just go through the gap. It does. He got away with that.
It was fine.
He got away with it
there. Still got to get the other yellow, though. That doesn't have a great pocket.
Oh, it's got less of one now. You can see the frustration from Shane Thompson.
I think he was trying to hit the red there. Just trying to get the red and hold on it to the centre.
Oh, he hasn't, has he?
His tracking is not going to reach, so Andy Blurton can breathe a huge sigh of relief.
Let off.
Yeah, that was a big error asking for trouble, and it's not been punished.
Hold yourself together, time. Clock is a non-factor, unless you're talking about a shot clock, in which case particularly relevant to Andy. It definitely is a factor, but
I'm guessing the two reds aren't a plant at the top of the table, the way that Neil's... But why wouldn't you play it first shot if it is? Looks like it's set fine.
well,
But he took on a much tougher shot,
and they're nowhere.
so maybe they're worried about that plant at the top.
It looks like it's at worst makeable.
But there's enough of a gap to make it. Yeah, it looks like it's set to the jaw, but there's enough of a gap to make. So
and they're in
I'm surprised at that.
a bit of jeopardy on this shot, because this isn't particularly obvious. They're playing safe.
Well, it's easy enough to play safe, but you're going to be leaving a one-cushion kick shot. Trying to get the red, I think, in the way to stop the kick shot from being available. Not quite managed it.
Shane Thompson can redeem himself. Oh, he very nearly did. That was close. Oh, I've made a couple of big errors in this frame alone, but
They're looking for an angle to deal with those two reds at the top of the table again. So they are obviously... It obviously doesn't go. It's just being fooled by the overhead camera for us again, isn't it?
oh wow.
Yeah. Needed to go into it straight, it looked like. It looked like he played into it from the top cushion, but that pace, it looked like... What else could happen going into it from the top cushion? Unless, I suppose, you go off the top cushion and catch the left-hand one-quarter ball.
Oh, Shane Thompson and Tom Cousins are being edged out of it here. Is Neil going to leave them anything? No.
Yeah, this is... Yeah, I mean, it's... Essentially, this is it. If they don't... if he doesn't make this yellow from here, they are out. They're all but out anyway.
It's a decent effort, but it is not to be. And that, surely, will be that. What an extraordinary ending to the Pairs Cup for Tom Cousins and Shane Thompson, who can fairly justifiably feel a little hard done by with how this match has fallen. Their one opportunity was a very tough one. Sticking on their final yellow is all they had to do. But this 8-ball for Andy Blurton to send his partnership to the finals night for the first time. Tom Cousins and Shane Thompson are out. Andy Blurton and Neil Raybone are through. At long last, to a finals night. They've been partners for a long time in this competition. Last 16 on multiple occasions. And finally, the Razor and Andy have stuck the landing, and they will go to the final four in the Ultimate Pool Pairs Cup. Congratulations to Andy and Neil. We will see them in just a moment to have a word about it, and we'll see them in a fortnight's time in the final four.